Hey guys, I know it's been a while since way before the beginning of July since I've posted something. I've just been extremely busy getting my craft room and all the great things my wonderful friend Shelly gave me. Thank you, Shelly. I love you and I miss you already. She moved away from me. I miss my girl. Sorry, y'all. Emotional moment. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express train here. Conductor for the day is Sabrina. How y'all doing? Up aboard if you a Hot Mess Express like me. Getting ready to go. So in this video, you're going to have a squeeze today, which I made for my great friend Shelly to match her decor, her new home. And then after I present that to you, hang around till the end and you're going to see my before pictures and videos of craft room, and I'll kind of walk you through a little bit of some disasters and then how I have everything now. So make sure you hang out and maybe you'll get some inspiration on that and show you how I organized a couple little things. So stick around, see how we squeeze the day and see how I have made myself a very functional craft room. Hope y'all enjoy. Now let's get shenanigan with the Craft-nanigans. Okay, here we go, guys. Shelly gave me this lemon wood cutout she had and wanted me to make it for her new house, and I was more than glad to do so. I just gave that 3 coats of Waverly so that we would have a good base coat. You could also see how I kind of drew my leaves in up there so I knew where to start. We're going to use Yellow Flame by Apple Barrel to paint our lemon. I will give this 3 coats. I will not put you through the misery of watching me do this lemon 3 times, however. You will have to also excuse quite a few of my shots through this video. I kind of get out of frame and you can't see what I'm doing sometimes because I had the arm that holds my phone up as high as it would go so that you could also see. And so I don't always have the whole entire lemon in the shot all the time, and I apologize for that. But you do get to gist and see what I am doing. I'm just using a bigger paintbrush here that I got from Walmart, and I absolutely love this one. And I'm just making sure that since I am using a paintbrush, my strokes go completely from the top to the bottom to make it nice and smooth. Again, I did give this about 3 coats to make sure it was completely covered. And I also, what you can't see me really doing right now, but you will in a second, is I am getting the edges. Oh, see, here we go. I'm just making sure I get all my edges. Here I am on my last 3rd coat. Like I said, I wasn't going to put you to misery through all of that. But I am going to make you go through the misery of getting my air dryer and watching me dry it some, just to show, you got to let it dry before you go on and do other things. Now, in this still shot, if you want to pause this, these are all the paints that I'm using to paint the stem and the leaves. This is the darker brown. It's by the American Decor American something. I don't know which brown, but it's the darker brown. I'm going to give this stem 3 coats. I will put you through the misery of watching me do this twice, but not the 3rd time. Hee, aren't I nice? I paint the stem. I'm just using a smaller squared off paintbrush here. I do get my edges, making sure everything looking good. For some reason, though, I did not paint the back. Do not ask me why I didn't cover nor paint the back, but I didn't. I'm usually pretty making sure that's done. Not this time. So I put that first coat of dark brown on. Now I'm drying it. Now you'll see me put this 2nd coat of brown on, and it's already starting to look better. Staying inside the line's pretty good, but if it's not perfect, like you can see with the yellow where I drew my leaves down there, it's not exactly perfect because I will be outlining with some black later on. Put a lot of details into it to make it pop. Make that lemon pop. So here, about finished with that next coat. I won't put you through the misery of the 3rd coat, I promise. Just drying it. There we go. Moving on to our green. This is the darker of the 2 greens that you saw in that still shot at the front. Now I'm going to actually use the sponge brush bouncer. And to start with, I'll use it to outline, and then I'll spread it all around on the leaves. And then, of course, I will do my edges. Got to get those edges. I just thought using the spouncer brush would make it easy to get those curves right there on the lemon by the stem. Now, when I do go do the third final coat on this, which I won't put you through the misery of, I do pounce it instead of just brush it because I don't want to see those lines on this. So I do pounce it to avoid the lines. Make sure we dry a little bit. That was coat 1. I do 2 more coats, but I pounce it and I don't just brush it on. Yep. Put you through the misery of the dry time. Got to make sure it's dry before you go on to your second coat, kids. You'll also see, you know, how I got the yellow past the lines for my leaves. Then my green starts going past the lines onto the yellow. Going to do the same thing on the second leaf so you can see how nice and dark that first leaf is over there. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the bigger leaf. Going to use my pouncer sponge and just roll it shoop, like that, and then fill it in. And then I'll also take it to get my edges. And now here's perfectionist me. Oh gosh, it got on the outside. Here I just said I wasn't worried about it because we're going to outline it. But then here I go with the wipey trying to get it all perfect and tidy because it's driving me crazy to look at it at that second. Being a crafter and OCD and ADHD and a perfectionist, just none of that works out very well. I'm finding out. Yay. Remember, this is the darker green of the apple barrel paints we are using. Going around my edges now. And then I will give this 2 more coats. Will not put you through the misery of that, I promise. But on the second and the third coat, I start to spounce it. Pounce it, spounce it. Where you boink, 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 so that you don't see the brush strokes in it. And you'll see that becomes a nice dark green. And then we will start adding our details here with a few of those other paints that you saw in that still shot a little while ago. Got to make sure it's dry before we move on. And there we go, all pretty. Now I'm taking the lighter brown and I'm just going to put a couple little stripes with a real skinny brush. Now, all these little details that you'll see me do on the stem, the leaves, the lemon, they are a combination of several ideas I found on Pinterest. It's like a whole combination. It wasn't one certain picture I found on Pinterest. There was probably about 4 or 5 pictures that I found on Pinterest. I just typed in lemon door hanger, and I kind of combined all of them together. Now we're going to take a little bit of white with another small little brush that is smaller than the little one we used for the brown, and just add some highlights to the brown lines we added to the stem. And then now we're fixing to go to the lighter green to add some details to our leaves. Now this brush is a little bit wider. And then what I'm doing while I'm doing this is looking at the Pinterest photos that I found. And even with the Pinterest photos, you can see I don't curve things the right way because I did not want to curve that art like that on that left side leaf, but it happened anyway because that's just the way it goes. But so yeah, I'm looking at some pictures I found on Pinterest. That is where I got my inspiration from for these details on the leaves, the stem, and then you'll see what I do with the lemon here in just a second. Wanted to give it that dimension, that little bit of pop. Gotta make it pop. Squeeze the lemon and make it pop. Come on, Sabrina. Finish your details with the lime green, girlfriend. You can tell I do it several times until I'm happy. Whatever makes you happy. If you don't like all this and you were fine with it plain, girl, you do you, boo. Making sure it's dry, though, before I move on. I believe I get my white. Yes. Dry. Do I get my white? Hello? Sabrina, do you get the white? Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Oh, look, she got the white. And then I'm just kind of going and highlighting over the lines. And you can take, I just dip the brush, and then it starts out thicker. And then as I swipe it, it goes lighter. And that's how it stays. And then I just get the corners and add the highlights to all that good stuff. See on that left one, all 3 of them arc the same way, like a U, and I wanted that bottom one to go upside down like the other leaf. But you take what you can get. Look, I'm trying to be a perfectionist with the highlight details. I gotta quit. I just gotta stop, y'all. Goodness me. Now I'm gonna take that same white And I think it's just regular old white by Apple Barrel. And use the biggest round spouncer that I had. Dip it and then kind of get the excess off. And then I'm putting dots on my lemon. I push down and then I twist it very slowly and then lift up. And I just put a dot where I think there needs to be a dot. Doesn't have to be even. I would say it doesn't have to be perfect, but look who you're talking to here and who you're watching. I also get some, if you could see that one better, toward the edges so it doesn't look like you can see the whole spot. Some of them are just half spots, like that one I did right there. I thought that I like my things kind of whimsical, kind of cute. I do, when I get finished getting all my spots where I like them and finishing that up, I do go and I do it one more time. But I don't put you through the misery of watching that. I just take my time and I set the sponge right on top of it and push and swirl again. And I give those guys about 2 coats and that did it. So, there we go. Y'all. Make sure they're dry. If you can see how like there's different shades of yellow, I'm not even going to talk about that. Anyway, now I'm taking my Jot permanent marker from Dollar Tree and just adding some little details in the dots, a little curve and then a dot on each end. And then unfortunately, these markers are amazing, but unfortunately it starts to run out on me and I did not have another one. So what I had to do when it started to not work very well, like you can start to see it's not working very well. Looks like a smiley face with eyeballs right beside the smiley face. So since it started to run out and I did not have another one, I just went and got my Posca paint marker in black. These things are amazing. I love the Posca paint markers. And even if they were spots just on the side, they may have just got half a curve and 1 dot. But I still made sure they had a little something. Like I said, sorry I'm out of frame here, guys, but you'll be able to see it more up at the top when I get around to that way. But if it was pretty much a whole entire dot, I gave it a whole curve, dot, dot. Curve, dot, dot. Now like that one, part of a curve and a dot. And then I also tried to make sure that they were kind of all on different sides of the circle too. Top, bottom, left, right, halfway in between, just so that it wasn't all together. Then I'm going to just add a little bit more whimsical to it. Sorry I'm out of shot. You'll see me come around town here, and I don't go over the dots. I stay in between the dots, and I squiggle, squiggle, dot, dot, squiggle, squiggle, dot, dot, squiggle, squiggle, dot, dot. And I'm still using my Posca paint marker in black. But like I said, I just stay on the yellow. I do not go on the dots. And I do not go around the leaves because I'm going to do something different with those. You'll see here. You see that big old marker up there? Yeah. This is the furniture markers that they have at the Dollar Tree in like the 3 packs. And this is the black one. I wanted it since it had the wide chisel tip because I really wanted my leaves to stand out. So I just took it and I outlined the edge of my leaves with this furniture marker from Dollar Tree in the black. And then it also kind of separated where the stem was and where the other leaf came together and touched. And then I also used it to add a little bit more whimsy in my leaf there. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. I also made sure, I think on my black, not only I'm drawing this on top, but I also took it and drew it on the edges as well. And then you can see the OCD and whatever starts to kick in again. And I'm starting to be like, oh, look, there's a little spot up there. I need to go over that again. And, oh, well, right here, oh, I got to cover this up. And, yeah, because, you know, Lord help me. I also did it to the stem as well. And I gave those some more highlights. See, you can see I'm starting to get. And then what happens is I'm trying to fix things. And what's happening is I'm just making it worse. So let me tell you, friends, if you think, oh, I just need to fix this little tiny spot, just leave it alone. Because if you're like me, it's only going to get worse. See, I'm trying to fix that little spot right there. And then now look how thick my black line is getting. And I'm like, oh. And then now, okay, that's thick, so this is skinny. So now I got to fix this. And then it just keeps escalating, and oh my Lanta. I just finally told myself, stop. Just stop. Stop. See, stop. Do it. Stop. Stop. Because see, I'd do it, and then I'd leave another mark. And then I'd do it again, and then there'd be another mark. And yeah, I finally stopped, though. Like I said, if you can see the two different colors of the yellow, I was trying to add some dimension texture in it. Yeah, anyway, we won't talk about it. Here's my squeeze the day that I did on the Cricut Access. And I did all that myself. I couldn't find anything I liked already in the paid for version. So literally you could do this. I totally forget the names of the fonts that I used. But I did squeeze the day. On the squeeze, you can see that it was curved, and that's just something once you type in your letters up at the top menu bar when you're in Cricut Access, Design Space, that's the words I'm looking for. There's a curve that you can click on, and it'll curve it like an arc or like a U, however you want it. This is smart vinyl that I used, and I am so glad this is the last of the black smart vinyl. So if you think I'm wasting a lot of black vinyl there, it's not a problem, because I was more than happy to get rid of this smart vinyl, which just don't do it, people. Just don't do it. Take my word, friends. Don't get the smart vinyl. Anyway, got that cut, got that weeded. Gonna take the best transfer tape in the world, get it off Amazon. They do make it wider, but I just used the 6-inch. And I'm going to put it up. You can also see that I went ahead and kind of cut some of the extra white off around the words. Now I'm ripping some of the extra tape off. Then I'll pull it off the mat, and then you can see that I cut around the words again. I probably waste a lot of time when I'm working with vinyl, because I guess that's the OCD kicking in again. I don't know. But now that I've got that on, I'll burnish. Get it on there, and then I'll pull it off the pull it off the mat. And always remember, gravity is your friend. Pull down. Don't try to pull up, pull down. And it'll come off a lot easier. Just kind of roll the mat and get it off of there. Now that I've got this off, now you're going to see me cut the extra tape off the sides again. So I cut the extra off the words. I cut the extra tape off. Yeah, it just helps me personally, though. I know it takes a lot of time, but it helps me line things up better. Even though you'll see here in a few minutes that I still didn't line the V up very good. But it does help. Having all that extra, it throws my eyes off, and I got to have as much off as I can get off. So I just take my time to get all this extra cut off. Plus, then it's also not sticking to your project either. But that transfer tape is good stuff. It doesn't pull your paint off. I love it. Now, we're going to take our lemon. Here, I actually got this in full view. And we're going to squeeze the day. And I'm just kind of setting them on there to see how I like it. Now, crossing my fingers and hope I can get this off. And this is why I do not like smart vinyl. The backing is so thick on it. It is so hard to get off. Now, squeeze did okay. Now, you can see that I'm not totally burnishing it down all the way, because I'm making sure that I got this in the spot I want. Here's where I started having trouble. The T wouldn't stick to the transfer tape, so I'm being picky about that. And this is sped up, friends. Then the E, the backing wouldn't come off the E on the smart vinyl. So I had to get my weeding tool to help me pick that mess off. So then by the time I got to the day word, that was turning into a big disaster, and I save you the misery from all of that. See, here, Hot Mess Express, coming at you. This smart vinyl, just, look at me. You can see I'm getting like, okay, so here, now, the day I figured, okay, maybe if I hold it down, it'll be okay. And then we get to the Y. And I finally stopped the camera because, yeah, you didn't want to see all this, because it just wasn't happening. See, there we go. Look, it did it. Yay. And I got it where I wanted it and pushed it down. Used my brayer, used my vernishing tool. And you can see that I am being careful, even though it doesn't look like it, so that I make sure that I don't scrape my paint, especially my little dots. and everything. Now, it pulls off great. There we go. You can see the D is down pretty low. But in the final reveal, you can see that it hadn't fully stuck yet, and I hadn't put a clear coat on it. So I did take it, and I was able to peel it off without ruining the paint. And I do move the V up. So there we go. Squeeze the day. I'm taking my Posca paint marker because some of my line did come off that middle spot right there. Now, Moose is going to help me here with my hanger for the back. I was afraid to use like a metal tooth hanger or a metal hook because I was worried about centering it, because as you can tell, one leaf is bigger than the other leaf, and the lemon is not centered in the middle of the leaves, and it's kind of turned sideways. And so I was afraid I wouldn't get it in the middle where it would hang straight. So I just took this piece of floral wire that is wrapped in like raffia, I guess is the best way you can explain that. And then because it was pretty thick, I got it from my mom. I just borrowed it. And so I'm just hot gluing that down really good, and then putting some duct tape, and pretty duct tape since, I didn't cover the back or anything. I'm just using duct tape to go over that to give it a stronger hold. Using my little makeup applicator there from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to put some more duct tape on it going up and down to give it more hold. And Moose decided he just wanted to sit and be in the way now. So give me a couple more pieces of duct tape there. And now I'm going to go up and down with it. You'll see. I just wanted to make sure that was held on there really good. Because it was thin board, but I still worry about the weight of it. And I was making sure that was really pushed tight around the ends of the wire. And so far, it's holding up. It's worked really good. Everything dry. You just make sure. I did not hang it until the next day. I wanted to make sure that sucker was dry. And there we go. Squeeze the day, my friends. Squeeze the day. Squeeze the day, Shelly. I hope you like it. It's just for you. Now, we got to add something to this, right? We're going to add a rag bow, shaggy bow. I'm going to do 11-inch strips or about. This yellow polka dotted and the green ribbon, I got those from Walmart. The lemon fabric that you see up there at the top, that came from Walmart. The white came from Dollar Tree. And the yellow plaid and the green plaid came from Shelly. And here with material, you snip and rip. Snip and rip, my friends. Best thing ever. I was trying to cut 2 folded pieces. That's why that didn't rip. And then after I got that, then I just kind of snipped and then ripped because I wanted to make sure it was all shaggy and stringy and messy and drove me crazy. Well, once I got all that done, then you just sit and you crisscross them on how you like them. I really wanted to make sure that the strips with the lemon really stuck out. And then you make sure that your colors get swapped around and things aren't in the same place. And I could sit and probably actually played with this for, I don't know, 30 minutes. And then here, like on this edge, that wasn't ripped, so I made sure that got ripped. I put the last 2, that's Rogaine ribbon. Rogaine, is that what they call it? With the ridges. That ribbon's got ridges. I just took a piece of scrap material there to tie it through the middle. See, I figured, oh wait, that green one went that way. I can't do that. Oh no. Making sure everything's going to show pretty good. Just take it, just grab it, and then I just tied an extra piece of material through the middle and tied it tight. Before I tied the second knot, I made sure kind of everything was showing how I wanted it. And then I just tied after I find the other end. Aha! Just tied another knot in it really good. And then once I get that knot tied, I'm going to shake. And this is, you can kind of get some of the straggly strings pulled off by grabbing it like I did. Or then, of course, you can use your scissors. Sorry, once again, out of frame here. We're going to hot glue this shaggy bow just up here, right underneath the stem. I'll realize I'm out of frame. There you go. Then I'm a hot glue queen. I use a ton of that stuff. But I just put it right there under the stem because I didn't want to cover up my words or anything. Get my globs that oozed out of the way. And then I scrunch, crunch, scrunch, fluff, 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 and there we go. Ah, it looks so much cuter with the rag bow. Yay! Stick around, guys. Here comes the craft room organization. Okay, now this first part, this is how I had it before Shelly gave me all her stuff. Stuff is just everywhere. That's all cardstock, vinyl. I don't even remember what's in that other tote. That looks like it's organized, but it's not. Trust me. There's floral. There's beads. There's wood here and there. There's wood everywhere. There's just pieces and I can't see it. That's all full of ribbon. And then there's more ribbon. And then there's mesh and tulle. And here's my table with my printer out in the middle of the room. Remember, this is also a guest room. There is a bed in here. Yeah, here's all my Cricut stuff. Here's my main table that I work on. There's my tools that I thought I needed most often. Watching some TV there. And there's the bed. So, yeah, quick shot of that. And Bees is helping out again. So, with the bed there, this just not was working out. Here's the closet. There's more wood, all that in the middle, wood, glass, plastic, flower bins, everywhere just, and then this is what it started turning out doing. You can see I kind of rearranged again, which was working better, but I had so much stuff. Here it all is. Now, here's the good stuff. Totally different. Thank you, Shelly, for those. That's all my greenery and floral stuff. Raffia. Over here, that's every bit of jute twine I have. That is all the ribbon. That's a work in progress. And that is all my deco mesh. So you can see all floral and all that kind of what I need quite often is right there. Here's my little cart of supplies that I use and need all the time, like glue sticks, paint markers, my tools like hammer, pliers, my drill. Bottom shelf has a sander, stapler, big hot glue gun, my little mini heat press, paper towels. There's a skinny little one back here with stuff I don't use as much, like my big saw, an extra silicone mat. That white drawer has a bunch of extra supplies like glue, staples, all that. Here are my stencils. I organized my stencils. Those are letters and numbers. Those are small pictures. That's big pictures. And those are like trimmings and edgings. I've got my rulers, right, easy access, all my paints, some more paints, my clips, my sander. Those are all paint brushes, other little tools, my Cricut things and scissors, Cricut markers, Cricut mats, vinyl. There's my laminator, paper cutter. Those are just all my booklets, and if I forget how to do something. Those 3 containers one has letters, one has my calendars in it, and then one has stickers and rub-on transfers. That is all cardstock, my friends. The top 2 is sheets of vinyl and printer stuff. That's my printer that's covered up on the little table. And in that drawer underneath it was all my vinyl stuff. Now to the closet. You're going to see a big change in this from the last time. This is no longer just all wood. Here is all my floral and extra little decor, and it is seasonal or holiday-ish. Like that's my summer one right there. And then there's all my wire wreaths. Poster board, which I don't get to very often. That is all extra stuff like plastic cutting boards. That's metal in the middle. And at the end, that was all candles and lights. There's tags, there's letters, pipe cleaners, pit berries. This I'm pointing to now, these are all my little wood pieces, like the bric-a-brac and then hearts and stars. I organized every bit of that. That skinny one, that's all metal hooks and hoops. Then the big thing of beads, glitter, ink, puff paint, paint supplies, and then big bottles of paint that are spare extra. All the bottom, I make car freshies, so on that bottom shelf was all car freshy stuff. All my material went into this awesome hanger that I got at Walmart. All the burlaps on top. Then I have solid color material, printed material, fluffy stuff and yarn, and then a box of wooden scraps, and every bit in this corner is all wood, sorted by blocks, dowels, flat pieces, random pieces, like you see the trucks and cubes in there. This is all sticks, knobs, and finials are in that one. My biscuits, clothespins in the back. These are all boxes. You can tell Dollar Tree stuff. This is like random wood pieces, small random wood pieces that I want to make over. And all this is like picture frames and canvases. Then you can see I got all my dowels and wood in the corner. This is the guest bathroom closet. This is literally all thrift store, Dollar Tree stuff or stuff Shelly has given me. Bees is going to help me out here. But I do have it organized by Dollar Tree signs already made or stuff that is just a canvas to work on. This, my friends, is the outside closet on the patio. This is stuff I wouldn't get to that much. But out here I put all the extra big wood pieces. That's all glass. The next row, that's all my metal. And then the bottom down there, that is all the spray paint. And then a couple little extra random things. So I hope this gives you all some inspiration on some organization. If you want me to slow it down and know more, just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love